Democrat of Connecticut. Congressman, thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
I know you can't discuss the specifics of what the Deputy FBI Director, Andrew McCabe, told your committee was all behind closed doors, but I guess the bottom line, do you have a greater in what Comey said as a result of what you heard?
Yeah, no, I think that's a really important question, Wolf, because I can't disagree more with what Jason Miller said a little while ago on this program, which we're hearing too much, which is that the FBI and law enforcement and the DOJ were made political. In yesterday's testimony, in every document that I've reviewed, in other testimony that I've seen behind those doors, there is zero evidence that the FBI or the DOJ have been acting on partisan grounds. The president criticizing the FBI is throwing mud on a storied institution. So again, without getting into what happened yesterday, because this has been too leaky a committee, I have yet to see anything which contradicts the testimony that Jim Comey gave, the written contemporaneous work that he did around those meetings. I've seen nothing to suggest that Jim Comey was being anything other than honest in the testimony that you just saw.
What about Andrew McCabe, the Deputy FBI Director? Is he cool? You heard the Republicans complaining about the fact his wife ran for a state elected office and she received hundreds of thousands of dollars from the Democratic governor, Aaron Coliff.
Yeah, look, I say shame on them. Shame on Sean Hannity. Shame on my colleagues who are implying that Andrew McCabe is not exactly what he is, which is a terrific public servant who has risked his life over a long period of time. Look, you can't judge somebody's credibility in a matter of hours, but there was nothing in his testimony, nothing in his demeanor that suggests that he is anything other than a very dedicated public servant. Both FBI agents, like CIA agents, like United States Marines, like members of Congress, have political and partisan opinions, and we've heard that. We've seen that. What happened when a couple of FBI investigators were shown to have exchanged partisan opinions? Mueller fired them immediately, which is exactly what should happen. So yes, of course they have political opinions. Everybody does. But there is not one iota of evidence that this investigation has been, or that the FBI or the DOJ have been tarnished by partisan bias.
What they're alleging of the Republicans is going back to the Hillary Clinton email investigation, that there was a partisan amount of support for Hillary Clinton, that Comey, McCabe, and others sort of watered down the entire investigation to help Hillary Clinton. That's what the Republicans are alleging.
Well, it is interesting. If you look at the whole, admittedly, very unusual steps that Jim Comey took in first announcing that there was an investigation, saying the investigation was over, and subsequently, right before the election, saying the investigation is back. At any given point in time, the Clinton people were outraged, the Republicans were outraged, and then the Clinton people were outraged. What Jim Comey did was very unusual. And I think we'll be debating for years about whether making those public announcements was the right thing to do. And by the way, when history weighs in, because, and I say this as a member of the Intelligence Committee, not all of the facts, as you might imagine, are known, those facts that impacted Comey. When he judges this, I think it will be regarded as a real quandary that he was put in. But there, again, is absolutely a shred of evidence that he was acting in a partisan manner, and that's evidenced by the fact that he at some point, pretty much angered both campaigns.
You think the president might try to fire the Deputy FBI Director, Andrew McCabe, by putting some pressure on the Deputy Attorney General, Rod Rosenstein, or the new FBI Director, Christopher Wray?
I really do. I mean, of course, right? We've seen the president's tweet in which he has slandered Mr. McCabe, who, as far as I tell, is a guy who could have been in the private sector making a ton of money, but instead chose to put his life at risk to protect all of us. The president of the United States has slandered this individual, and I say this again, probably with more knowledge than most Americans, with absolutely zero evidence. Yes, his wife, I guess, decided to run for public office. Are we going to make a rule that if your spouse decides to run for public office, you're therefore not able to do your job? It's sort of an absurd.
What could Congress do, if anything, if Andrew McCabe is fired?
Well, look, the American people need to understand that what's happening today, it's happening on Fox News with Sean Hannity, with Jeanine Pirro, with all sorts of people. They are deliberately trying to